Yo, hip-hop heads, listen up. Something monumental just dropped in the game, and it's shaking the culture to its core. Nas, the living legend from Queensbridge, has linked up with DJ Premier, the beatsmith who practically defined an era, to drop an album that nobody saw coming. This isn't just another release, it's a full-blown event, a collision of OG mastery and timeless lyrical genius, the kind of project that makes the streets stop and the streams explode. From the very first beat, you feel it, the aura, the history, the weight of two legends combining forces after years of anticipation. Fans everywhere are losing it, social media is blowing up, and forums are lit with debate over every bar, every scratch, every hook. Some say this is the album of the decade. Others claim it's a masterclass in authentic hip-hop, a reminder of why Nas has been untouchable for decades. But it's not just the music, it's the story behind it.
Why now? What sparked this reunion?
And how will this reshape the influence of boom bap in today's rap climate dominated by trap and digital trends? From exclusive interviews to behind-the-scenes insights, from street reactions to industry shockwaves, this story goes deeper than the tracks themselves. So buckle up, because we're about to break down every punchline, every beat, every revelation. This isn't just an album, it's a movement, a moment in hip-hop history that every fan will remember. And trust me, once you see what's coming, you'll understand why the streets and the world are stunned. As the final scratches of the first track fade, the magnitude of what Nas and DJ Premier just unleashed hits like a freight train. This is not just music, it's history. And every beat is layered with decades of experience, struggle, and artistry. Fans immediately flooded social media, sharing clips, reacting to lines that feel like poetic revelations, and debating which tracks are already destined to become classics. The buzz was instantaneous, the kind you only see when true legends step back into the studio together after years apart.
The streets were alive.
From Queensbridge to Compton, from Atlanta to London, everyone had their phones out, headphones in, dissecting every rhyme, every sample. The unmistakable chemistry between Nas and Premier was palpable. Each bar Nas spit is sharp, reflective, and relentless, his storytelling at its finest, addressing themes of struggle, ambition, betrayal, and triumph. Premier's beats aren't just background music, they are cinematic landscapes, gritty and soulful, weaving seamlessly into Nas's narrative. You feel every word hit with precision, every hook punctuated with classic boom-bap drums and jazzy samples. Industry insiders are calling it a masterclass in authenticity, noting how this collaboration bridges eras, paying homage to the 90s while staying relevant in 2025's rap scene. Young artists are studying every track, trying to understand how a legend balances legacy and modern relevance. Meanwhile, older heads nod knowingly, seeing the return of the raw lyricism and production that once defined hip-hop. Behind the music, the story is just as compelling. Sources close to Nas reveal that this album wasn't planned as a commercial play. It's a personal statement, a culmination of years of reflection, growth, and the need to remind the world why he is still untouchable. Interviews hint at late-night studio sessions filled with laughter, tension, and debate. Nas and Premier reportedly challenged each other creatively, pushing limits, digging deep into their archives, and even revisiting unreleased tracks from decades ago to create a sound that honors the past while speaking to today. The opening track sets the tone, a gritty narrative about life in Queensbridge, the challenges of growing up in the system, and the perseverance required to survive and thrive. Nas's flow is both methodical and urgent, commanding attention while delivering lyrical intricacies that only someone of his caliber can maintain. Premier's scratches punctuate key lines, almost like exclamation points, reinforcing the emotion and drama of each verse. Listeners are already picking apart metaphors, comparing them to Nas classics like Illmatic and It Was Written, and debates are raging online about whether this album could surpass even his most celebrated works.
Social media reactions are just as explosive.
Fans are dissecting album artwork, the hidden messages in tracks, and rumored features. Everyone's asking the same questions. Who inspired the verses?
Which real-life events are being referenced?
How does this album reshape Nas's legacy in a world where hip-hop has changed drastically? Comments are full of awe. Nas is untouchable. Premier still has the Midas touch. This is the album we've been waiting for our entire lives. The energy is electric, almost tangible, and the streets are alive with chatter about which track will stand the test of time. Industry analysts are also weighing in. Some say the album could reset expectations for lyrical content in modern hip-hop, reminding listeners that rap isn't just about virality, streams, or social media trends. It's about storytelling, culture, and impact. Others highlight how this collaboration is a lesson in consistency, work ethic, and the importance of mentorship. Nas mentoring younger artists, while Premier demonstrates why classic production techniques remain relevant even in a digital-heavy era, provides a template for longevity in hip-hop.
But not everything is smooth. Rumors began circulating about beef resurfacing among old collaborators. Certain tracks hint at unresolved tensions, subtle disses aimed at past rivals, and pointed commentary on the state of hip-hop today. It's a reminder that, while this album is legendary, it's also raw and unfiltered, reflecting Nas's unflinching honesty. Fans are dissecting every bar for hidden meanings, comparing them to past feuds and stories, and analyzing how the songs relate to real-life events. Each verse feels like a puzzle, each sample like a clue, and listeners are eager to decode every layer. In the midst of all this, DJ Premier's production shines as the unsung hero. The drum patterns, the samples pulled from classic jazz, soul, and funk records, the scratches that feel like storytelling themselves, all of it cements Premier as a producer who never compromises his art. His work elevates Nas's verses, making each track not just a song but an experience, a moment in time that fans will replay for years. Critics are praising the synergy, calling it hip-hop at its purest form and a masterclass in legacy and artistry. Another fascinating aspect of the album is how it touches on social issues. Nas has always been known for weaving cultural commentary into his lyrics, and this project continues that tradition. Tracks reflect on systemic injustice, street politics, and the struggles of marginalized communities, all while maintaining the storytelling that makes his music universally resonant. Listeners are moved, inspired, and challenged to think critically about their world, and the album becomes more than entertainment, it's a cultural statement. Live reactions are also noteworthy. In select listening parties, fans reportedly broke down crying, shouted in excitement, and engaged in deep discussions about the meaning behind tracks. Many say they felt like they were witnessing history, experiencing a moment that transcends music. The album's impact is immediate and profound, proving that true hip-hop legends don't just drop music, they create moments that define eras. By the halfway point of the album, the energy is intense. Nas shifts from reflective storytelling to lyrical aggression, addressing haters, doubters, and industry politics with precision. Premier matches each emotional spike with beats that hit like cannon fire, creating an atmosphere that is almost cinematic. Every track feels purposeful, deliberate, and designed to cement Nas's place in hip-hop history, reminding everyone why he remains untouchable, even decades into his career. The audience is left with a sense of awe and anticipation. The combination of lyrical brilliance, production mastery, and cultural relevance makes this album more than a collection of songs. It's a statement, a celebration, and a challenge to the entire hip-hop landscape. The streets are buzzing, forums are on fire, and listeners are already debating the impact this will have on future generations of artists. One thing is clear, Nas and DJ Premier didn't just create an album. They crafted an experience, a journey through decades of hip-hop evolution, struggle, and triumph. And as fans press repeat, share clips, and debate every line, it becomes obvious that the legacy of this collaboration will echo far beyond the music itself. We'll dive even deeper, exploring the stories behind the tracks, rumored collaborations, and the cultural ripples spreading through the hip-hop world. The excitement surrounding Nas and DJ Premier's legendary album continues to ripple across the globe. Fans are dissecting every track, hunting for hidden references, subtle nods, and lyrical gems that connect past and present. But behind the scenes, the story grows even more fascinating. Sources close to the studio reveal that the creation of this album wasn't just about making hits, it was about reclaiming a legacy. Nas wanted to remind the world why authentic hip-hop storytelling still matters, and Premier, ever the perfectionist, pushed the production to levels many believed impossible in today's music landscape. Rumors of secret guest appearances began to surface. While Nas and Premier have historically collaborated with legendary figures, whispers indicate that some unannounced features are hiding on the album. Artists who haven't been heard in years but whose inclusion ties the project directly to hip-hop's golden era. Fans immediately started speculating. Could it be a resurrection of Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, or even AZ? The mere possibility ignites excitement because the album isn't just a project, it's a cultural bridge connecting different generations of hip-hop. The thematic depth of the album becomes more apparent in the second half. Nas dives into complex narratives, reflecting on his own journey while commenting on the state of modern hip-hop. One standout track paints a vivid picture of the industry's commercialization, with Nas highlighting how artists are pressured into chasing streams and trends rather than crafting meaningful art. Premier's production complements this with soulful loops, jazz-infused samples, and hard-hitting drum patterns, ensuring the message hits as powerfully as the words themselves. Every verse feels carefully constructed, leaving listeners in awe of the artistry on display. As social media reacts, clips of Nas performing live for listening parties go viral. Fans are captivated by his ability to command a room without theatrics, relying solely on his presence and lyrical prowess. Comments flood in, "This is real hip-hop, nothing fake. Nas is timeless. Premier is proving beats don't need to be overproduced to hit hard." Forums and YouTube comment sections explode with breakdowns, bars-by-bar analyses, and heated debates about the hidden meanings in the verses. People are theorizing about references to street politics, past collaborations, and even feuds from decades ago. Behind the album's creation, tension and drama played a subtle but important role. Nas and Premier reportedly had late-night debates over track ordering, beat selection, and lyrical content, refusing to compromise on quality. While both are known for their professionalism, insiders hint at moments of friction where creative visions clashed, ultimately making the album stronger. The commitment to authenticity is clear. Every beat, every sample, every lyric was painstakingly curated to tell a story, not just to sell records. Fans are particularly enamored with a track rumored to feature rare archival samples from 90s recordings, giving the album a nostalgic feel without losing its contemporary relevance. This track has sparked debates among hip-hop purists. Some argue it could be the modern equivalent of Illmatic's storytelling power, while others see it as a nod to the evolution of lyrical expression. Either way, it reinforces that this album isn't just about Nas. It's about hip-hop itself, paying homage to its roots while pushing the genre forward. One fascinating element of the album is its social commentary. Nas addresses systemic issues, racial injustice, and urban survival with the sharpness of a poet and the precision of a historian. Lines that reference political events, personal experiences, and industry exploitation resonate deeply with listeners. Premier's production never overshadows the words. Instead, it frames them, making sure the message is front and center. Critics have praised this synergy, noting how the album balances entertainment with enlightenment, proving that hip-hop can still be a powerful vehicle for truth. Meanwhile, the industry is taking notice. Executives, artists, and producers alike are impressed by how Nas and Premier managed to create a record that resonates across generations. Analysts suggest that the album could inspire a wave of artists to return to lyrical depth, authentic storytelling, and sample-driven production, potentially reshaping the current hip-hop landscape dominated by short-lived trends and viral hits. This is not just music, it's a statement about artistic integrity. Another subplot gaining traction involves fan engagement and cultural influence. Listening parties aren't just about hearing the tracks, they are experiences, with fans discussing references, dissecting bars, and connecting the music to their own lives. Stories are emerging about teenagers inspired to start writing again, producers revisiting classic techniques, and older heads rediscovering the excitement of raw hip-hop. Nas and Premier, without intending to, have sparked a renaissance, reminding everyone why the culture they helped shape is timeless. As the album continues to dominate discussions, the conversation inevitably turns to live performances. Rumors hint that Nas is planning a limited series of shows featuring DJ Premier on stage, replicating the album's intricate beats live. Fans are already anticipating how classics will be reimagined alongside new tracks, and speculation grows over whether surprise guest appearances might make the shows unforgettable. The combination of nostalgia, artistry, and cultural resonance is making these potential performances once-in-a-lifetime events. Controversy also lurks in the background. Some tracks subtly address industry rivals and former collaborators, sparking debate online. Hip-hop enthusiasts are decoding lines for potential diss messages, historical context, and cryptic storytelling. This aspect adds a layer of intrigue, reminding listeners that Nas isn't just reflecting, he's commenting, challenging, and asserting his position in the hip-hop hierarchy. Premier's production ensures that even these subtle messages hit with emotional and rhythmic weight, making the album a multi-layered experience. It's clear that this album is more than music, it's a cultural milestone. The combination of Nas's lyrical mastery, Premier's production genius, and the underlying stories, tensions, and history creates something rare in today's music scene. A record that truly matters. It's no wonder that fans are already calling it legendary, and critics are debating whether it's the greatest hip-hop album of the decade.
Most explosive aspects of this album: behind-the-scenes stories from collaborators, the cultural ripple effects, potential industry shakeups, and how Nas and Premier's collaboration might inspire a new era of authentic hip-hop. Begins as the impact of Nas and DJ Premier's legendary album spreads like wildfire. By now, the world isn't just talking about the music, it's discussing the cultural statement behind every track, the artistry, and the way it reshapes modern hip-hop. Fans are calling it a masterclass in lyricism, production, and storytelling, bridging generations of hip-hop heads who crave authenticity. But beyond the fanfare, the story behind the album reveals a series of behind-the-scenes moments that make this release more than just music. It's a revolution in sound and intent. One of the most talked-about elements of the album is the rumored uncredited collaborations. Sources close to Nas and Premier reveal that several tracks feature veteran MCs and producers who have largely stayed out of the spotlight. These secret contributors add layers of complexity, nostalgia, and historical weight to the album. Fans have already begun speculating about who could be behind these features. Names like AZ, Large Professor, or even Q-Tip are being tossed around on forums and social media. The secrecy has fans on edge, dissecting every track for clues, and it's this mystery and anticipation that amplifies the album's legendary status. The narrative turns to the production process, where DJ Premier's genius shines brightest. Unlike many modern producers who rely heavily on digital manipulation, Premier is committed to crafting beats the old-school way, sampling vinyl, and layering drum patterns meticulously. The result is a sonic landscape that feels timeless yet fresh, perfectly complementing Nas's intricate lyricism. Studio insiders describe the sessions as intense, with both Nas and Premier pushing each other to achieve perfection in every verse, sample, and drum hit. One engineer noted, "They weren't just making an album, they were building a monument to hip-hop." But the impact of this project goes beyond the studio. The album sparks heated debates across social media, music forums, and podcasts. Hip-hop journalists dissect every lyric, from the political commentary to the personal revelations. Some tracks address the commercialization of hip-hop, highlighting how modern artists often prioritize viral moments over substance. Nas's verses resonate with fans who have been craving real storytelling, giving a sense of nostalgia while asserting the importance of lyrical craft. Premier's beats, grounded in jazz and soul samples, reinforce this message, proving that authentic hip-hop never goes out of style. In the midst of all this, live performances become the next frontier. Rumors suggest that Nas plans exclusive listening events featuring Premier on turntables, recreating the album's intricate beats live. Fans speculate that these performances might include surprise appearances from veteran collaborators, making the show's once-in-a-generation experiences. Clips from rehearsals leak online, showing Nas commanding the stage with ease, while Premier manipulates the decks with precision. The synergy between the two legends becomes a visual and auditory spectacle, further cementing the album's status as hip-hop history in motion. A fascinating subplot emerges around the album's cultural influence. Fans are inspired not just to listen, but to create, write, and produce. Young MCs and producers publicly share how Nas and Premier's work motivated them to focus on lyricism, storytelling, and authentic beats, rather than chasing fleeting trends. Music educators highlight the album in classrooms, analyzing its themes, samples, and lyrical depth. Critics note that it's rare for a single project to inspire such educational, creative, and cultural reverberations, proving that this album is more than just a commercial success, it's a catalyst for change. Meanwhile, controversy lingers in the background. Certain tracks reportedly contain subtle diss lines directed at industry rivals, sparking heated online debates. Hip-hop enthusiasts analyze bar by bar, searching for hidden meanings or historical context. While some fans speculate that Nas is reigniting old feuds, others argue that these references are more about commentary on authenticity, respect, and artistic integrity, rather than personal attacks. Regardless, the discussions only add to the album's mystique and cultural weight. On several tracks, he reflects on his career trajectory, past mistakes, and lessons learned. There are moments of vulnerability, where Nas shares intimate glimpses of his life, the pressures of the music industry, and the responsibility he feels as a voice for the community. Premier's beats provide the perfect backdrop, evoking emotion and nostalgia without overshadowing Nas's words. This combination of raw honesty and masterful production elevates the album, transforming it from a collection of songs into a storytelling epic. Another pivotal aspect of the album's influence is its intergenerational appeal. Older fans appreciate the nods to golden-era hip-hop, while younger listeners are drawn to the technical mastery and the timeless quality of the production. The album sparks conversations about the evolution of hip-hop, its current state, and where it's headed. Fans create reaction videos, social media challenges, and online breakdowns, further amplifying the album's reach. It's not just a release, it's a movement, bridging gaps between eras, styles, and audiences. As the narrative reaches its climax, it becomes clear that this project has consequences beyond music. Industry insiders speculate that it could inspire a wave of lyrical-focused projects, leading to a renaissance of authentic hip-hop. New artists may seek collaborations with veterans, producers might return to sample-driven techniques, and listeners might demand more substance over virality. Nas and Premier, intentionally or not, have become architects of a cultural shift, reminding the world of the power of true artistry in shaping music, culture, and society. Finally, the album cements its status as a timeless classic. Every track, lyric, and beat serves a purpose, reflecting years of experience, vision, and dedication. Critics, fans, and industry veterans alike acknowledge that this collaboration is more than a collection of songs. It's a statement, a movement, and a testament to hip-hop's enduring power. Nas and DJ Premier prove that even in a world dominated by fleeting trends and instant gratification, true artistry, authenticity, and mastery still reign supreme. The story is complete. The album stands as a monument to hip-hop, a bridge between generations, and a reminder of why Nas and DJ Premier are legends. The cultural, artistic, and social impact reverberates across the globe, ensuring that this project will be discussed, analyzed, and revered for decades to come. Yo, hip-hop heads, if you vibed with this deep dive into Nas and DJ Premier's legendary album, now's the time to take action. This isn't just music, it's a cultural movement, a masterclass in lyricism, storytelling, and old-school production that bridges generations. If you're serious about staying ahead in the game, you don't want to miss the next breakdowns, behind-the-scenes insights, and exclusive takes we're bringing straight to you. Smash that like button if you felt the energy, the passion, and the historical weight of every track we covered. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you're first in line for new episodes, whether it's rare clips, unheard interviews, or explosive hip-hop stories that shake the streets and the charts. Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear which track hit you hardest, which line made you rewind, and how this album changed the way you see hip-hop today. Share this video with your crew, your podcast circle, and anyone who respects real hip-hop, because this is the content that sparks discussion, debate, and inspiration. And remember, Nas and DJ Premier didn't just make an album. They made history. Be part of the conversation. Be part of the movement. So, don't wait. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. Stay locked in, because we've got more exclusive hip-hop stories, breakdowns, and legend secrets coming your way. This is your front row seat to the evolution of real hip-hop culture. Let's ride!